Morning all. Video for SNED in response to the solid foundation. Had some thoughts on this and I wanted to kind of eke them out. Real stormy morning here in Florida, home of America's governor. That's a story for another time though. But foundations, when you were talking about definitions and words, a couple thoughts came to my mind. First was, and this is what made me make this video, I use YouTube a lot for music. Just running mixes, and I dig the way that it kind of puts different musical groups together for me. But I don't know if you remember from the 90s, this one singer, Lisa Loeb, and 9 Stories, she had that song Stay. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Reality Bites, but it was like a Gen Xer kind of movie. And if you know who I'm talking about, she's a bit prolific. I think she was on one of those Singing with the Stars or Dancing with the Stars shows that are real popular these days. And she was on this panel that it was on VH1, and it had George Clinton, some other people, and they were talking about different people, like singers, and they wanted to use the word scandalous, like who's the most scandalous. And George Clinton wanted, George Clinton of George Clinton and the P-Funk All-Stars fame, shit, goddamn, get off your ass and jam. And if you don't know who George Clinton is, I'm not even going to take a minute to explain. And I don't know how our relationship will be moving forward if you don't know George Clinton, the P-Funk All-Stars. But George Clinton wanted to say that Diana Ross was scandalous because the way he used the word scandalous was like she was raw and naughty. And Lisa, because, Lisa Loeb and me, we're on a first name basis, right? Lisa refused to acknowledge the term scandalous to describe like somebody naughty and fun. She didn't want to redefine that. She actually took a moment, and she sounded a bit bitchy and pedantic when she did it. But now that I think back and I put it together with your video, there's something there, I think. And to wrap this up, in finality, it reminded me of George Orwell, some of his theories, specifically in the book 1984 when they had Newspeak, and they were redefining everything. And is that perhaps a quotient of Marxist theory, is to unpin us from our foundations? If you unpin somebody from your foundation, then you can create a vacuum and you can incorporate the body politic and take over. I mean, it's looking like that's what we're dealing with. So, good video, and I will have to, normally I would take a contrarian view, but I'm going to go ahead and agree this time for the sake of argument. And I wonder then, are things like spelling or certain exposure to, now when I speak of liberal arts, I mean liberal arts in the education, like core educational facts, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But does knowing how to spell a word correctly change something in your mind to put you more into sync with other people? I'm not an educator, and I don't understand or know much about the history of education, but perhaps somebody, if they spoke to a teacher, could, in the 70s and 80s, when I was coming through, man, spelling was it. We had all these memorization lists where we had to know how to spell words correctly. And now here I am, and left, right, and center at work, forget that my job is to administrate the business. My job is spelling. And is that part of it? That's my question. All right. Take care, everybody. Good looking out, and I appreciate all y'all.